You know the drill. Every single year, it's the heavyweight championship of the tech world, Apple versus Samsung. And based on everything we're hearing, the fight for 2026 is shaping up to be one of the most intense showdowns we've seen in a very long time. Let's break down what it all means.
So, with the iPhone 17 and the Galaxy S26 getting ready to step into the ring, we've got to ask, who's going to come out on top? Is the long-reigning champion about to be dethroned?
So in this explainer, here's what we're going to unpack. We'll look at the timeline, the huge shift in the chip war, the battle of AI, a potential new camera king, and of course, the design and hardware, all to help you figure out which phone might be the one for you in 2026.
Okay, let's start with the basics. When can we actually expect to get our hands on these things?
Well, the first shots are expected to be fired pretty early. Rumor has it Samsung is planning a big reveal for the Galaxy S26 on February 25th, with the phones actually hitting stores around March 11th. This classic early year launch puts it right up against Apple's iPhone 17, which, always follows in the fall. The stage is officially set.
All right, next up is what might just be the biggest story of 2026, a massive shift in raw power.
Look, for what feels like an eternity in the tech world, Apple's A-series chips have just been untouchable. Year after year, they set the standard for speed and efficiency. But, the ground is starting to shake.
Okay, now check this out. When we look at early leaked benchmarks for single-core performance, and that's the speed for your everyday stuff like opening an app, the iPhone 17's A19 Pro scores a 3,895. The Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5, the chip we expect in the Galaxy S26, scores a 3,831. I mean, that gap has basically vanished. Qualcomm has finally caught up.
But here is the knockout punch. In multi-core performance, we're talking the heavy lifting for gaming, for video editing, for intense multitasking. The Snapdragon chip doesn't just catch up, it pulls way ahead. With a score of over 11,500, it's reportedly 18% faster than the A19 Pro. For the first time in years, Apple isn't just matched, it's actually been beaten on a key performance metric.
So why the sudden change? Well, it really comes down to philosophy. Apple is sticking with its proven 6-core design, always balancing that incredible power with its legendary efficiency. Qualcomm, though, seems to be going all in. They've got new core architecture, they're feeling the pressure, and they are pushing for pure brute force with an 8-core setup. The bottom line is, for the first time in a very long time, the best Android phone might just be the most powerful phone, period.
Of course, all that power is nothing without control, so let's see how this incredible hardware actually translates into the software and AI experience.
So on the software front, both companies are really doubling down on what makes them, well, them. Apple's iOS 26 is reportedly built around this new liquid glass design, which sounds like it's aiming for a super clean, minimalist feel. Samsung's One UI 8, on the other hand, is continuing to be the king of customization, letting you tweak just about everything from icons to system animations.
And you can really see this difference in their AI strategies. Apple Intelligence is all about seamless integration, like visual intelligence just being built right into your screenshots. Galaxy AI is more feature-forward, more proactive, with tools like the Now bar, giving you task summaries, and Gemini Live, allowing for these really rich, back-and-forth chats with your AI assistant. Now for a battleground where Apple has often held the crown, especially when it comes to video. But Samsung is rumored to be bringing a secret weapon. But before we get to that, we need a super quick definition for something called a video codec. Just think of it as the language a camera uses to save a video. A better codec lets you pack way more quality, color, and information into a file without it becoming absolutely enormous.
And here is Samsung's big play, the rumored APV codec. This is not just a small update. It's promising near lossless quality, a huge jump to 12-bit color for billions more shades, and support for custom LUTs, which are kind of like professional-grade filters that give your videos a specific cinematic look. And crucially, it's designed to hold up better after multiple edits. This could totally change the game for mobile video creators, and it's a direct shot at Apple's ProRes dominance.
Okay, let's broaden out to the other essentials, the screen you're staring at all day, and the battery that keeps the whole thing running.
Both phones are bringing some really clever display tech to the table. The iPhone 17 Pro is expected to get an advanced anti-reflective coating, which should make it much easier to see outdoors in the bright sun. Samsung, on the other hand, is rumored to be building a privacy screen directly into the display of the S26 Ultra, which can hide what you're looking at from prying eyes on the bus or train. Pretty cool.
And when it comes to charging up, Samsung appears to be making a pretty significant leap forward. The S26 Ultra is tipped to support 60-watt fast charging.
So what does that number actually mean for you? Well, it means getting to a 75% charge in about half an hour. That is a noticeable step up from the iPhone 17 Pro's expected 40-watt capability. In the race to fill up the tank, Samsung looks like it's got the edge. So after all that, we come right back to our original question. Which phone is going to win the day?
Let's look at the tail of the tape here. The Galaxy S26 Ultra seems to have the advantage in raw multi-core power, potentially groundbreaking video tech, and of course, faster charging. The iPhone 17 Pro Max will likely lean on its incredibly efficient chip, a seamlessly integrated software and AI experience, and that famously refined design.
But ultimately, this level of intense competition is just fantastic news for us. For the first time in years, we're not just seeing tiny incremental upgrades. We're seeing real innovation on all fronts, which means no matter which ecosystem you prefer, you are getting a much better device.
And that leaves us with a really fascinating final thought. For years, Apple's performance lead was a defining feature. Now that the gap is closing, or maybe even reversing, what comes next? Is it going to be AI? Is it camera tech? Or is it something else entirely? That right there is the new battleground for the future of the smartphone.